Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Eddie Hearn expects Gervonta Davis to fight Shakur Stevenson. Eddie Hearn expects Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson to agree to a unification lightweight title. Hearn has been competing with the world's leading promoters to sign Stevenson after the 27-year-old became a free agent at the conclusion of his agreement with the top rank. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gervonta versus Shakur Stevenson because situations and circumstances are everything, Hearn told. Shakur's free agent is ready to do a deal. Timing's everything. Hearn and Stevenson have been in talks over a promotional deal since the WBC champion made an appearance at the Matchroom promotion early in July. I met with Shakur, a great team, but really honest conversation, the promoter added. The conversation was, I would love to sign you, but I need to deliver the right fights for you, and if I can't deliver those fights for you, then maybe I'm not the guy to be with. We all agree with the real fights. I'm the right man for the job, but I've got to deliver the right fights. He will be here on Saturday, as well the rest of the world. If we can work with Shakur, I would love to work with Shakur, but it's got to be right for him. It's got to be right for us as well. On my part, I would love to be Shakur's promoter because I think he's a great fighter, Hearn said. Gervonta Davis received response from Shakur Stevenson's team on possible fight. Shakur Stevenson's team is prepared to enter into negotiations with Gervonta Davis over a possible fight. All indications are that conversations were progressing well between Bob Arum's top rank and Al Haymon's PBC, who represent Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson's zone manager Josh Dubin insists their phone lines are open. It's all up to Gervonta. The one thing about Shakur, he will take anyone you put in front of him, Dubin was told. We are here and waiting and ready to negotiate. Boxing Sense reported that there have been preliminary discussions between Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson's representatives. Out of Dubin declined to comment. We'll know how realistic is by how financially viable they make it for Shakur, he added. They know Shakur produces the highest rated ESPN card of the year, so they need to come correct. It's a fight Shakur really wants. He's been beginning for it for a long time. What Shakur wants to do, let me say, it plainly is to unify at 35 pounds. The logical fights to make that happen are to fight the champions. William Zepeda, who is ranked by all four major sanctioning bodies at 135 pounds, is expected to boxing another fighter next. The Mexican puncher has been ordered by the WBC to box Stevenson next, but his promoter Oscar De La Hoya has indicated that he will likely go down the WBO route. The WBO champion is a relatively easy fight to make, De La Hoya said. We will pursue that and then, probably down the line, rather sooner than later, we will go up against Shakur. Shakur Stevenson has faced harder challenges than Gervonta Davis, elaborated Claressa Shields. Perhaps 30 strength wins with 28 knockouts are not enough. Perhaps Gervonta Davis needs to pull off something truly extraordinary. Only then might Claressa Shields change her views about him. Otherwise, the newly crowned heavyweight champion feels that the Baltimore is a notch below his New Jersey-born college Shakur Stevenson. Increasing reports suggest that talks for the lightweight title unification between the two champions could be in the offing. Unsurprisingly, talks are already swirling over who will emerge as the winner if a fight eventually materializes. Both Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis recently secured wins. The Olympic silver medalist emerged successful from his first title defense against Artem Harutyunyan early this month. Gervonta, on the other hand, defeated Frank Martin to retain his lightweight championship. It's time to talk about title unification and greater glory. The GOAT owed to the defensive genius of Shakur Stevenson. Claressa Shields was speaking with Saiga Talk. He shared her thoughts on Ryan Garcia and the whole scandal surrounding him. Then she also gave her 2 cents on women's sports. After the half-hour mark, the host asked her about the criticism that Shakur needs to work on his knockout skills. Shields disagreed with the notion. In her view, there is no need for Shakur Stevenson to prove himself to anyone, especially those who have never been inside the ring. The 2-time Olympic gold medalist revealed that she had watched Shakur Stevenson take on the boxers, not only from his weight class, but a few from other divisions right up to light heavyweights. Shakur is the best, she said, insisting. To me, he is better than Gervonta. He is better than Devin Haney, and he is better than Ryan Garcia. He is better than Teofimo Lopez, Claressa Shields said. He shared how both got pre-weighed off when he suggested that the fight sit in the middle, not titling on either side. Claressa Shields replied, "I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I seen the tank got some great skills and got some hard punches. He is so explosive, but so is Shakur. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges than Gervonta." Then she went on with a detailed elaboration, laying out the kind of records and the fighting style of some of his opponents. Shields gave the instance when Shakur Stevenson went against the powerful Jeremiah Nakatila. On the other hand, Gervonta Davis, in her strong opinion, cannot go around and spread the word that he is the best after knocking out the likes of Ryan Garcia and Rolando Romero. All in all, neither of the two would ever last in the ring if pitted against Stevenson. Skills against odds. She acknowledged Gervonta Davis' skills and power, but the fact remained that Shakur Stevenson is getting hit. He is getting hit 5% with the shots, he is getting wherever shots you throw, but only 5% of them landing. When you're only getting hit 5%, 6%, I'm just rocking with Shakur for that fight. According to this, when the time presents an opportunity, Shakur Stevenson is very smart. He is very capable of challenging his style, making it much faster and stronger. In her strong viewpoint, Shakur Stevenson rather deserved the Olympic gold medal instead of the silver that he received after losing the belt to the Cuban Robeisy Ramirez. A fight between Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson remains one of the most sought-after duels in the boxing narrative. If it comes up, fulfilling 1,000 dreams, then Claressa Shields' assessment could be put to the real test, given that Stevenson will be facing one of the face of boxing. What are your thoughts on Claressa Shields' opinion on Shakur Stevenson? Do you agree that he might be a better boxer than Gervonta Davis? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.